Carl Sagan famously said that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
And on UFOs, I would just say no one would be happier than me if we were being visited, and it would save me so much trouble. But extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and I would say the evidence that we are now or ever have been visited, despite the claims of being abducted and God knows what happens on the spaceship, those claims are crummy. The evidence just isn't good, and my mind is open. I'm willing to look at new cases, but there has been no compelling cases. Physical evidence, photographs, a stolen logbook of the alien captain, nothing that would convince a skeptic.
But is this Sagan-inspired slogan correct? Do extraordinary claims really require extraordinary evidence? Well, that mainly depends on what we mean by the terms extraordinary claim and extraordinary evidence. But on quite natural interpretations of these terms, the slogan is indeed true, and my goal today is to briefly explain why, with the help of a clip from a video I made on common internet mistakes in philosophy and religion. So without further ado, let's dig in. So, mistake number 15, which is really a collection of mistakes surrounding the slogan extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So I'm just going to be honest, I've seen basically everyone make a mess of this one. Let me just say that probably the best way to interpret the slogan is just an instance of Bayes' theorem. Extraordinary claims are those with a very low prior probability. In other words, prior to looking at the evidence, and in light of our background knowledge, the claims appear very unlikely to be true. And extraordinary evidence is just evidence that's powerful enough to overcome a very low prior probability and render the relevant claims believable. Within this understanding, it is true that extraordinary claims, if we are to be rational in believing them, require extraordinary evidence, since claims with a very low prior probability need significant evidence in their favor in order to overcome their low initial prior probability. That, I think, is how the slogan should be understood. And pretty much any other understanding that I've come across is either confused or mistaken. So we should all stop debating about this principle and just recognize that there's pretty much one and only one correct way to understand it. And when we understand it that way, it's perfectly innocuous and perfectly true. And it's a useful principle. It's A-okay. It's not going to bite you. It's not going to harm you. It's not under your bed or in your closet. Is it in the room with us right now? Anyway. Let's stop making these mistakes surrounding the slogan, because this is the best interpretation of it, and it's a true interpretation, okay? Okay, fine, some people will use other interpretations that'll be mistaken, and we have to correct them, etc., but that's the purpose of my mistake number 15. Okay.